All right, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the hill country which is surrounding Austin. Uh, we also had a restaurant out in the hill country called Hudson's on the Bend. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what's happening in this beautiful part of Texas. When I came there, it was hardly anybody living out there. And you had to drive from one village to the other, and nothing was there except the hills and beautiful old homes like this one, for example. And I always dreamed of it that one day I might have a house like this outside in the hill country. Well, my life has turned and it went into different directions. Here's another beautiful home, which also belongs to a winery. When I arrived in Texas, there were hardly any wineries in the hill country. And now I'm telling you, there are some beautiful wines made out there. And the last time I was in Texas with my friends, we drove out there and tasted some of these great wines. The wine industry, it started in California, but now almost every part of the United States has wine countries. And Texas is no exceptions. And they're doing some great, great wines. I remember when we opened up our thing, we had hardly any wines. Here are some of the wines you should kind of visit. Pedernales Cellar, the Driftwood Estate Winery, the Banding Branch Winery. And then when you're out in the wineries, you should drive back forwards Lockhart and go to Kreutz Market and have yourself some really good barbecue. Here is the back of the barbecue joint, and the reason I took that picture so you can see all this beautiful wood which is used. Here is at the time when we were sitting overlooking the Pedernales River. It's in one of the wineries, and it was close to the evening, and we had some wonderful wine with some friends. And I don't remember the entire whole evening because during this time I still had a few glasses of wine here and there. And here's another shot of some wine glasses with the wine in there. I don't remember exactly which winery it was. We visited, I think, 5 or 6 wineries that day. Here I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the ranches which they have out in Texas. They're unbelievable. And they raise a lot of venison out there, particularly the Axis venison, which is delicious, and which I served many different dishes during the time I lived in Austin. We had many dishes on the Hudson's menu, but we also had it on the Courtyard. And in the Southwest Cookbook, I made a mixed grill of wild games. So you see how beautiful the hill country is, and when you see these beautiful animals, I can possibly not shoot an animal, but now I can cook it, but I can't kill it, all right? And here, there are some of the ranches you might want to visit and see about it if you like to go hunting. Here is Buffalo. Buffalo started when I was in the Austin Courtyard where I started serving some buffalo steaks, and it was owned by a rancher by the name of Mr. Carrington. Here are some longhorn sheep which are also delicious to eat. And here is actually a steak of buffalo. Buffalo meat is quite tender, and it's actually better for you than beef because it's all natural. And obviously, when you talk about Texas food, here is some chili. And now, this chili which I made with beans. Now, in Texas, people will tell you, oh my God, you can't put beans in a chili. They're going to kill you. But neither here nor there, I like beans in my chili. And here we are talking about some goats and some lamb. Goats are just incredible. And in the hill country, They have some goat farms which produce some incredible goat's milk and some incredible goat cheese with all kind of different varieties. And here are some of the breeds which are used up there in the hill country, like Alpine, La Manchaca, Nubian, Toggenburg, the Oberhasli. And here are the goat cheese varieties. They make feta out of them, they make brie out of them, they make blue cheese out of them. And then when they get old, they're going to cut them up and they're going to cook caprito. Caprito is something which is eaten in Texas quite often. And here are some pictures of caprito. And you need to cook caprito all the way through. And the best way to do it is on a grill outside. I mean, look at these are just incredible looking dishes. And I will give you some recipes when I talk about more about the courtyard food and what we served. And here is the longhorn beef. Longhorn beef almost was extinct. But lately, the farmers in Texas started again raising longhorn beef. I mean, longhorn beef in Texas is like one thing. I mean, that's how Texas made their fortunes in beef. And here are a couple of beautiful steaks. One is a ribeye and one is the New York strip. And here is a picture of an old Mexican gentleman who helped me making a barbecue outside. Horst and I used to do a lot of catering where we cooked like a whole leg of beef and we carved the table side on one of the ranches with different salads. It was always a lot of fun and we had a great time. I hope you liked my rambling a little bit and you learned a little bit something about the hill country. I already talked about the hill country, about the different cities which are there, which you need to visit. So check that out. And also check out my chefsjourneys.com, where we do a lot of, where you can learn a lot about myself and the cooking. Our next video is going to be about beef, in some ways, how we cooked beef and prepared beef in the restaurants. It will not only be the courtyard recipes, because some of this beef I served even all the way back to my apprenticeship in Germany. I hope you liked my little rambling, and pretty soon we will bring out all the things you need to know about beef. Thank you very much.